Hi everybody, I'm Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka JND, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm finally doing the mid-year freakout tag. Like, it's taken me a minute, I'm sorry. I think I was just putting it off because I had wanted to read more for you guys before this tag, but then I realized I've already read a lot this year and I need to chill. I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself. Don't need that negativity, y'all. So let's get into this tag. I don't remember the questions at all, so this is gonna be a little messy, you know? Typical Jess content. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Support your girl. Check the links below. I started a Patreon if you want early access and extra bonus videos. Okay, let's get into it. Since I'm unprepared, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Goodreads because we know I don't remember what I've read this year. Ooh, and let's talk stats. What I've read this year, what my goal is, and all that fun stuff. So I am at 69 books right now, and technically right now it's the end of July, so like nearing the end, so I'm probably gonna get some more books in before the end of July, so just follow me on Goodreads. That's the only thing that's always like up to date. So 69 books, my goal is 100, and I know I've read over 30 mangas this year. I already know because I've read 24 volumes of Yona of the Dawn, and I've read at least 11 volumes of Waiting for Spring. So out of the almost 70 books, like nearly half of them have been mangas, and maybe that's why I feel like I haven't read that much this year. But you know what, mangas still count as books, so I'm just saying. Okay, so now let's dive into the questions, and the first question is, what is your favorite book of 2020 so far? This one I'm gonna take a minute to think, because like, it's been one of those years where I'm like, did I have a favorite book this year? It's hard to tell. I don't feel like I've read that book that I love yet. Like, I recently just finished Clap When You Land, and I think this was the most mesmerizing. I can't do words. I'm a reader, what? This was a really enchanting and well written, and if you don't know, Clap When You Land is by Elizabeth Acevedo, and this is a story of two estranged sisters coming together because of one horrific incident. And I think that's all you really need to know going into this, that it also deals with a lot of women empowerment, loss, grief, trigger warnings for loss of a family member, and assault. So yeah, but still great. And I definitely am giving it 5 stars. But I don't know why I don't feel like it's the best book I've read. I'm having a little existential crisis. But I did vlog my reading this. It's on Patreon if you guys want to check it out. So that's a possible contender for favorite book. The best sequel that I've read this year is definitely very obvious. Let me pull it out. And that is A Reaper at the Gates by Sabatir. I'm considering this a sequel, even though this is the 3rd in the series, but it is like a book after the first book. So the first book in the series is Ember in the Ashes. If you don't know, the 4th book is coming out, I think, in November. I'm really excited for it. This has been the only sequel this year that has made me cry and like have all the feelings. I've lost all hope. I don't know what's gonna happen in the 4th book. So yeah, everything else that I've read when it comes to like sequels or like another book in a series, I feel like they've all kind of let me down, to be quite honest. This is the only one that like kept me really engaged. Even A Torch Against Night, because I did also read that this year, I didn't love it as much as I loved this one. This one had me bawling, at least for like the last 40 pages. I was like, no. And if you don't know, An Ember in the Ashes is a high fantasy book. It's really hard to classify because it seems like there's a lot of magical elements, but also dystopian, kind of like the magical world kind of alludes to being possible, like realism, fantastical realism. It's hard to classify, but there's a hierarchy, there's people oppressed, people who are ruling, and of course there's lots of war, and some magical elements come to play, and some prophecies, and lots of cool stuff. It's so hard to try and describe this book, to be honest. A new release that I haven't read yet that I want to is This Is America. I got it approved on NetGalley, and I believe the author is Kim Johnson. I don't know if that's right, and my phone's right there. I could easily go on Goodreads, but I don't want to. Oops, my laziness. This is a new release. It came out literally 2 days ago. I wanted to read it before it came out, but of course, you know, me and my NetGalley arts, we are always late. We are never timely, but I will review it eventually and get around to it eventually, just not as soon as I want. It's okay. It's still gonna be there. It's gonna be there, and I'm gonna read it eventually. I honestly don't know too much about this story. I've seen a lot of my favorite authors rave about this, and it just sounds very timely, so I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, definitely need to read it very soon. And for the fourth question, it is the most anticipated book for the second half of 2020. And for this, I think it has to be The Last Magician, the third book in the series. I believe it's going to be the final book. It's by Lisa Maxwell. It's like The Serpent's Curse, I believe. I'll put a picture up. This is one of those books that I think about all the time. It's basically The Last Magician is a story about New York, and it's in 2 time periods. One is like present day, one is back in like, is it the 1800s or 1900s? I believe the 1920s-ish. But New York, and magicians are being trapped in New York, and this girl from the present tense goes into the past to kind of save the world from magicians being trapped and basically oppressed by this social system that's been created. And it's so much more than that. There's magical elements, obviously time travel. There's so much going on, and the banter between the 2 characters, oh, I feel sweaty just thinking about it. I love it. I love a good bantery couple. So cute. And I think this one comes out literally in December, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be my favorite book of the whole year, because that book series has not let me down, and I swear to God, if it lets me down, I'm gonna cry forever. I'm being dramatic. I'm so sorry. Okay, so the biggest disappointment, let me go grab it. It's kind of between 2 books, but you know what? Okay, maybe I'll just mention both of them. The first disappointment being The Everlasting Rose by Danielle Clayton. It's so funny because I've been reading reviews about this and the first book, and people who didn't like the first book liked the second one, and people who didn't like the second one liked the first one. I am like the latter. I liked the first one. I thought it was fun. I definitely gave it a 3-star. I liked the world. The system of the world was really cool. The idea that in a New Orleans setting, I don't think they call it New Orleans, they call it like something fancier with like a little accent on it, but basically in this world, humans are naturally kind of grayed, really ugly, yellow teeth, like all the things you would think ugly and gross. That's how humans are naturally, because like God cursed them a long time ago, and then the bells are the only ones who can make people beautiful, and they can shape you into what you want. So people go through trends of being red skinned or purple eyed or black long straight hair to curly kinky curls the next day. It's weird, but really cool and like really fascinating, and I think it talks a lot about the beauty standards of our world. So I was stepping into this thinking that we would get to know more about the world, and I feel like this whole second book could really, it couldn't be cut out, but I just found it to do nothing. I'm so sorry if this is one of your favorite books of the year. Don't get me wrong, this is very personal. I just felt that the journey that we were taking on this book wasn't necessary, didn't inform me of the world. My favorite part about this world, the book, is the world, because it's just such a different take on something I haven't heard of before, and we really learned nothing, and we just had a lot of kind of traveling but not really knowing what we needed to do. We needed to take down this one person, and it was just a journey to attempt that, but there wasn't a lot of attempting. It was a lot of, we need to get there, we need to get there, we need a plan, we need to get there, we need to get there, we need to get there. Oh, this sad thing happened, we need to get there, if that makes sense. So it was just, I feel like it was very much a lull for a second book, and in the end, there was no cliffhanger, no questions. The only reason I would grab the third book in this series is because I want to learn about the world building, because this literally did not give any extra world building oomphs. So yeah, it was just not what I was expecting. I think it gave us like the tiniest little bit of knowledge, but the book ended with everything wrapped up very well, so I don't really know what the point of continuing is, besides learning about the world. But like, you didn't introduce anything that was interesting in the second book. That's just my personal opinion. I'm being a little harsh on it. I was highly anticipating that book to rock my world, and it didn't. The hype got to me. I think I gave it 3 stars because I can totally respect other people liking that journey and stuff, but not me. Not I. And let me grab the other one that really disappointed me. Okay, so this next book that really disappointed me was From Love to A to Z from SK. I know what you're thinking. Tons of people love this book. I really recommend you go and to Goodreads and read reviews about this. My personal take on this is that there were 2 things that upset me. I thought the MS rep in this was needed. We do need more disabilities rep, don't get me wrong, but the way their romance surrounded the MS rep was really weird to me because she was quite cruel to him about it, and he kind of accepted her apology, and then they like fell in love. So it just didn't really make sense to me. The love aspect of it and the MS rep was awful, because I don't think if anyone ever made fun of my illness, I would like beat them to a pulp. Especially with something so debilitating as this. She sees him taking treatments. She knows that he lost her mother to it, so it's all upsetting. So I don't understand how he could be so chill with her being mean and not really even apologizing for it. And then secondly, the love in this was so odd to me, because in the first 150 pages he's infatuated by her, but they haven't spoken to each other. He just likes the fact that, you know, she's pretty and she has a nice like blue hijab. They try and hang out, but they never actually speak to each other. There's just this lust for each other, basically. And it's not very lusty, because it's not like they're trying to like sleep together or kiss or anything like that. But it's just this random like, oh, I think I like you. Oh, and the third thing that really bothered me is the fact that this whole book is supposed to be centered around them having marvels and oddities because of this book in the library that they both saw and were interested in, and had been keeping journals noting every marvel and oddity every day in their life for like 4 to 5 years. They both had these journals, and it was barely introduced in the beginning why they liked doing this, but then it was utilized in every chapter. Every chapter we had a marvel and oddity, and that was an interesting thought process, but I didn't think it was executed well, because I didn't think it benefited the story. I didn't understand why they did it, why they were so obsessed. Like, if you were a 12-year-old or 14-year-old going to the library or a museum, seeing this book, like one of them, I think the guy saw it on the computer and he was like, wow, this is so cool, I'm gonna start doing it. It was introduced so quickly, and then it was like the theme of the whole book, and I was just like, are we gonna get a deeper understanding of why? I don't know. So you could totally disagree with me. Let me know down below. I also know a lot of people really love this book, so to each their own. I totally respect that. It was just those 3 things just didn't fall right for me, so I gave that book a 3 star. But to me, it was the most disappointing of the year, because I was expecting a lot from it, and I felt like as a love story with so much representation around it, that it wasn't solid, you know? That's my thoughts. I also have a vlog about it if you want to check out more thoughts about it. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. My apologies. So the next book is the biggest surprise of 2020, which has to be Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu. This book, honestly, maybe this is my favorite book of the year, just because it was so fun. Exactly what I needed, especially in this time where everything kind of feels uncertain. This is the cutest love story ever. Basically, it's about a K-pop star and what are those things people call who take pictures? Paparazzi. And they kind of meet by accident, and then the paparazzi guy finds out that she's a K-pop star, and then he kind of tries to lure her to having this exciting day and taking all these pictures of her that he's planning on selling later. But a love story happens, and it's just so fun. I feel like, though you know the plot, you know this going into it, that it's going to be a fun, lighthearted contemporary where 2 people fall in love, but it's so realistic in the sense that they're not super trusting of each other. They're asking, you know, deep questions about passion and trying to motivate each other. Like, why not go chase your dream? It was insta-love, but it was done right in my opinion, because it wasn't just like, I like the way you look. Because so many books are all about, I like your appearance and then I like who you are. These people are like, yeah, you're cute, but I don't know who you are. I don't trust you. So it just felt more real. And it was so so fun. So this definitely took me for a surprise, and I really need to read more of Maureen Yu's work because it was just so, the story was so infatuating, and I really want to do a reread soon. So yeah. So this next question is a favorite new to you author or debut author, and for this I'm gonna have to say a book that I haven't finished yet. I literally have 40 pages left, and it is Ray Bearer by Jordan Ifuko. I have been enjoying this story. I don't want it to end. I've been really reading it piecemeal, making sure that like I don't run out, because I know that it's gonna end on a cliffhanger. There's a second book coming out, but it's so good. Basically it's a story about a world where it's run by a council of members, and the prince, you know, becomes the king, but he, when he's a prince, creates a council, and they kind of form like almost a bond. It's called the Ray, where they bond to each other and protect each other, and they all have their own little powers, and they'll grow up to rule the nations. But there's a lot of really bad shiz happening, and while they're forming this new council, there's this girl who's been cursed to kind of kill the person she's meant to protect, and she is spending the most of her time trying to figure out how to break this curse. And the story is so much more than that, but it's really good. It's really good. I definitely also want to reread this. It's been a wild ride, and I also just really like how this story is not just a simple I need to fix the curse. There's so many complexities. There's a character called the Lady who's very mysterious, and we're learning why she's kind of crooked and her villain origin story and all that stuff. There's so many layers to this, and it's just been such a good ride. So yeah, I can't wait to finish it, but I also like don't want to finish it at the same time. Do you know how I feel? Who does that? Who does that? Comment down below. Do you read a book really slowly when you really enjoy it and just take really long to finish it? Me. The next question is a fictional crush, and for this I am going to have to say Hawk from Yona of the Dawn. I'll put pictures up. He's amazing. He's the greatest, the best at banter. Oh my gosh, if you have not read Yona of the Dawn or watched the anime, I highly recommend it. I do feel like the anime is so shallow when it comes to the plot of the story, because I'm 24 volumes deep, if you know what I mean. There's so much content in there, in the whole world. Basically, this is a historical romance action anime. So it's a world where there used to be like these 4 dragons, and they came down to protect one of their own. I forget what his name is, like the red dragon. I don't know if that was his name. But basically, the 4 dragons came to protect their like king, the person they followed, and he passed away, and the 4 dragons have continued to live on through generations of people. It's been like a century, and now they think that that leader has kind of come back. His legacy has come back within this girl, possibly Yona. That's still up for debate. We still don't even know if she is actually a descendant of this person, but she finds out that she's possibly this leader, or descendant of this leader, and she has been kind of kicked out of her palace. The love of her life kills her dad, lovely, and she's now running for her life, and this is where Hawk comes into play, her personal guard. He's the best. He's been in love with her since like they were kids, and it's just so perfect because he's like given up hope on Yona like actually feeling the feelings towards him. So this whole like the first 13 volumes are of him just being like, oh yeah, you're like super cute but super stupid, and like him like then just the banter, I can't even express how amazing it is. But yeah, so now she's searching for the 4 dragons to protect her, and then later on it becomes about protecting the kingdom. And yeah, there's just a lot of history and war and so much strategy and structure to this manga series. It really blows away any other manga series I've ever read, because it has that shoujo manga feeling where there's cute banter and a lot of cute characters and all these boys obviously in this girl's life, and she does start developing like relationships with her other girls around her, which is really cool. And I feel like that's rare to have a female character have so many other female friends too. Normally it's just the love interest surrounding her life all the time, but there's just a lot going on. That was a really long-winded explanation of why Yona of the Dawn's amazing. If you don't believe me, watch the anime. You have to stick through the first couple episodes or volumes of this, because I feel like Yona starts off as a really kind of weak, feeble character, and then she just out of nowhere gets so determined to get strong to kind of save Hawk. We love that. But yeah, the development of every angle of this story is so good. I also want to reread this series so much. Maybe that's why I can't pick a favorite book of this year, because I've read so many good books. It's just, I'm sorry, this video is going to be 10 years long. Shouting up a storm. Newest favorite character. Can I say Hawk again? I'm gonna just go with Hawk. Hawk gets two. He gets to answer 2 of these questions, because you know what? He's that cool. The next question is a book that made me cry, and besides A Reaper at the Gates, I don't know if any book has made me cry. I'm just gonna say A Reaper at the Gates. Yeah, I don't think anything else has made me cry. Let's see, a book that made me happy. If I had to pick something beyond Somewhere Only We Know, I would have to pick I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. This was so much fun and made me so happy. This is a story about a girl who wants to be a professional ballet dancer, and she's lost her dad to an accident a couple years before, and her mom's very protective of her. So on a vacation week where her mom's away, she decides to go out to a ballet audition on her own, and somehow the guy next door that she despises has to join her, and just the antics unfolds so great, so perfectly. I love it. I felt that it was really realistic, especially from the artistic perspective. If you are a person who is within the arts, besides like writing and like loving that, reading books, like if you are a dancer, an actor, a musician, I think you could really relate to this book. It had so many good, precious moments and good dialogue, if that makes sense. Loved it, loved it. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? Okay, I'm gonna have to say Black Flamingo is gorgeous. Like with this sleeve, gorgeous, and taking off the cover, gorgeous. Oh, also Clap When You Land, obviously, is like the most beautiful book ever. I feel like Elizabeth Acevedo has like decided that all her books are going to be stunning. I don't know who decided it for her, but like this obviously is beautiful, but then you go and you get like the Dominican Republic side and the New York side, like stunning. Has to be the prettiest book I own. I kind of want multiple copies so I could have like this cover and then like take off the sleeve and have the like palm trees. Yeah, if I have money one day, I'll do it. Okay, so some books that I need to read before the end of the year. Obviously, I need to finish Raybearer. That's hopefully gonna be finished very soon, and then I have to finish Black Leopard, Red Fox. I'm still like 150 pages in it. It's very good. I just need to devote more time to just reading it and enjoying it, because it is one of those stories that is not hard to get into, but sometimes you have to reread to really get the understanding. And yeah, I've just been in a very contemporary read slumpy mood, so I haven't been in the mood to read that, but I definitely need to finish that. I also have some books up there that I want to read, like Ninth House and House of Earth and Blood I really want to read. But yeah, and Binti's been on my list for like ever. So yeah, those are definitely some books I want to read before the end of this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I totally can do it, right guys, right? Thinking about doing a reading vlog for House of Earth and Blood, even though it came out a while ago, but who knows, that'd be interesting. This next question is favorite video or post you've done so far this year, which is such an interesting question. I think my favorite video I've made this year is the tier ranking video, which I really had a lot of fun doing. So I did a tier ranking video where I ranked all like the POC books I've read in the last 2 years, which was over 60 books. It's a long video, so if you ever need some long-winded content, kind of like this video, but with really quick, decisive reviews, go watch it. I'm really proud of it. I thought it turned out super fun and super put together, you know? Just go check it out. I'll link above or below, and yeah, you should definitely check it out. Pretty please. Thank you. Oh, this next question's so cute. Favorite community members? I have so many. I think it would be unfair, but like I'm just gonna name a few off the top of my head, and if I don't name you, obviously I love you. Like even if I like personally don't know you, like I love the fact that you support me, especially since you're at the end of the video. Love you to death, man. Like this videos take effort, time, editing, so I really appreciate it. But some book community friends that I've made this year that I really love from the bottom of my heart is Alana, the awkward book nerd. She's my girl. We always talk to each other, and it's just sweet to have someone that you can actually like rely on. Mina from Amina Reads, she's just such a cool person. Like, she's just the coolest. She's very chill. She's just like says what she says, and like I don't even know how to describe her coolness. It's just like when I'm around her, or like I'm not even around her ever, but when I like text her or we talk in a group chat, I'm just like, damn girl, like how do I level up like you? Like, damn. Some other people that I can mention: Cece, I forget her channel name, but it's Cecile. I also like Jocelyn, like all the unfriendly black hotties. Obviously that group chat has been a lifesaver, even though I'm not super sociable online. But I just love having their presence, because they have really become a solid group of friends that I could talk to every day, and we Zoom chat all the time. It's been really fun. Some people that aren't in the unfriendly hotties, Jolie is the sweetest being ever. I shouted her out a while back in a video. She's the cutest human being. I feel like there's so many that I can't remember off the top of my head. I love Isabella from Throne Reads. I don't remember her channel name. Something with thrones, I think. She's the bomb. She's so funny. She always brings a smile to my face. See, I've fallen in love with Gavin's content. Gavin Trains Dragons. I don't know anybody's channel names. I only know people's names. Is that bad? But his content is really fun. I really love what he's doing with his channel, talking about middle grade, the importance of middle grade. I will always love Rhiannon. I know she doesn't upload as much. Damn it, what's her book channel name? Rhiannon. I also don't remember her channel name. Dang it, I'm so bad at this. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. But I have so many people that I love and respect in the community, and that's why I keep uploading, because they bring so much positivity to my day, and I just can't be any more grateful than I already am, guys. For real. Okay, well, that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you haven't done this tag, do it. I'm probably the last person, so you know what? It's fine. At least I did it. That's what counts, right, kids? Right. Well, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my content. And I hope this video gave you a little bit more sunshine. I will see you in the next one. Bye.